নমস্কাৰ শ্ৰোতাসকল, আজিৰ বিশেষ চলন্তিকালৈ স্বাগতম। আজিৰ অনুষ্ঠানত শুনক নতুন দিল্লীৰ আয়ুষ মন্ত্ৰালয়ৰ যোগ আৰু প্ৰাকৃতিক চিকিৎসা গৱেষণা কেন্দ্ৰীয় পৰিষদৰ সঞ্চালক ডাক্তৰ ৰাঘৱেন্দ্ৰ ৰাওৰ সৈতে হোৱা সাক্ষাৎ গ্ৰহণ মানস প্ৰতিম শৰ্মাৰ।
আকাশবাণী গুৱাহাটীৰ সমস্ত শ্ৰোতাকে আমাৰ এই বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠানলৈ আদৰণি জনালো। আন্তঃৰাষ্ট্ৰীয় যোগ দিৱস অহা 21 জুনত অনুষ্ঠিত হ'ব। তাৰ পূৰ্বে আমি যোগ বিষয়ক বিভিন্ন বিশেষজ্ঞৰ সৈতে কথা পাতিছোঁ। আজি আমাৰ সৈতে টেলিফোনত সংযুক্ত হৈছে বেংগালুৰুৰ পৰা ডক্টৰ ৰাঘৱেন্দ্ৰ ৰাও। তেখেত ভাৰতবৰ্ষৰ একেবাৰে বিখ্যাত নিউৰোপেথিক। ডক্টৰ ৰাও, ৱেলকাম টু আৱাৰ শ্ব', স্বাগতা।
Namaskar, sir.
Welcome. Sir, would you please tell us what is the role of yoga in stabilizing our day-to-day life?
Okay. What happens here in day-to-day life is that we are always rushing for getting our work done. We are always running behind while we are running behind competition, running behind making a career out of ourselves. Okay, trying to have a peaceful life. We are running behind wealth, we are running behind pleasures which are and all the desires which we want to achieve in our lifetime. While doing this kind of running, what happens here is that one gets afflicted with the stress. There's increased amount of stress because you want to achieve something in life, you want to stay happy in life, and you feel that getting materialistic pleasures is what fulfills your happiness. But what one should understand is materialistic pleasures are only short-lived, short-term, and they cannot really contain or give you a long-term contentment or happiness. It is only very short-lived. But in search of this kind of pursuits, you take too much amount of stress. Time is very short for you, and you get involved in so much amount of stress activities that this takes a toll on your health. Because of the stress load, there is increased amount of stress hormones, there is increase in BP, there is increase in acidity, there is increase in heart rate. Okay, so there's so much amount of load on your organ systems inside your body.
Right.
And the body is trying to cope with that particular stress by increasing the functioning of all other organ systems to an elevated level. This over a short term may be useful, but over a long term can cause several amount of diseases. And we call these as lifestyle related diseases like heart disease, hypertension, or it can be even acidity or dyspepsia, migraine headache, and so on and so forth. So yoga is very, very important because in day-to-day stress it is there. If you are having a day-to-day stress in your office or wherever it is, you will be able to do yoga every day and you'll be able to calm down your mind for some time. So this yoga is like a buffer for this stress. It helps one to cope with the stress effectively. So whatever stress hormones are released will also come down with respect to yoga practice. So it brings the system back to normal. It makes the system go to a homeostatic state. And this is very much required for all of us involved in high pressure activities. For those who have a type A personality or blue collar jobs, working in and day out, not having time to slow down. Yoga is a very important breather which helps in taking care of all these activities.
Right. And what is the age issue of doing yoga? Is there any particular age bar that after having certain age one cannot do yoga practices? Is there any sort of restriction there?
Yeah. See, there's no criteria for age nowadays. Even for babies, we also do yoga in the form of stretches.
Mm-hmm.
So the mother holds the baby on her lap. There's a baby and mother yoga, where the mother stretches the baby in various directions in different postures of asanas. So it's not that yoga can't be done by anybody. It can be done by anyone. Even for infant babies, they start doing the stretching as soon as it is born, and that's also yoga. But if you say really to start with the yoga practice, usually it is done after 7 years of age. And that's when children have some amount of mental agility and understanding of what this yoga means. They also have a mental understanding of developing the internal awareness. And that age, the mind is very fast and rapid, it's very high speed of mind, a lot of thought processes. It's a monkey mind basically. So this yoga can really help in reducing hyperactivity in the children. And this at 7 years of age onwards, we start teaching children in yoga school. Yoga is very, very useful in elderly population because at that time they have diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, they have a lot of joint problems, musculoskeletal problems, fatigue, etc. It helps them to restore their mobility and restore health and bring strength and stamina in old age as well. So the age is not a barrier for doing yoga, except that it should be done after 7 years of age. That's the ideal age to start off active yoga practice. But children also can do yoga as well.
Right. And coming to the issue of the youth, now there are lots of anxiety, aspiration, job stress, everything. So how do you see yoga as a motivation to the youth particularly?
See, what happens in youth is they have a lot of rush of blood. They are very impulsive in action. and they don't have patience. They try to work, for example, they'll be working towards employment, they'll be working towards excelling in their education. And there's a lot of stress which comes on the youth when especially they're studying or cracking some competitive examinations, attending interviews or going on to search of jobs or whatever it is. And there's bound to be a lot of pressures and expectations on the youth by their peers, from their parents. And this can create a lot of stress. So yoga can help the youth in calming down, preventing the rush of that. They can really calm down, relax themselves. They know what causes stress, what doesn't cause stress. They know how to cope with stress. So when this starts happening, it will really change their personality. When they're very calm, they're able to have better clarity of thinking, a better clarity of thought process, and they'll be able to excel better in their examinations. Their personality development also happens. They become more confident, and rather than becoming negative thoughts. Because if you start failing in examination, they take failures too much as a very strong thing, and that failure can lead to dejection, depression, and other psychological disorders. So yoga helps in preventing all these things. It helps them to come out of script failures and helps them to tide over the crisis in a better way. It helps them to keep the mind level-headed and calm and not become very impulsive. And this is very useful for the youth for their personality development.
Right. And coming to the issue of holding International Yoga Day, how do you see the overall impact of holding International Yoga Day in the society?
This is a very nice question. The Day of Yoga, IDY, was passed by the UN resolution in December 2014. And since then onwards, the first International Day of Yoga was celebrated in 2015 in Delhi and various other places since then. And every year, June 21st is celebrated as International Day of Yoga. This has helped in taking yoga to the global scene. It has created a huge amount of impetus as a soft power for India as well. And this has created that awareness. This is the traditional medical system of India. And yoga as a science, as a philosophy, as a way of living, as a spiritual science, has been taken up by world over. And now you can see yoga is not just India is also practicing yoga, no doubt, but a large number of yoga practitioners are there in the global arena, in US, UK, Europe, Southeast Asia, Russia, whatnot. In all the countries, you can see yoga studios happening, yoga courses happening, people coming from all over across the globe to India to learn yoga, going back there as yoga instructors and opening their own studios and training centers. And this is very, very useful in helping taking care of lifestyle-related disorders, especially like diabetes, obesity, hypertension, asthma, cancer, and whatnot. Okay, and that's where yoga is found to play a very important role in the Western countries. And because of the coining of IDY by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, this yoga has become such a big boom across the world that as a system of therapy, medicine has been recognized increasingly across the world. And a simple example I'll give you. Before 2014, the number of medical publications on yoga were about 36 per year. Mm-hmm. And today, the same number of publications in medical applications of yoga is around more than 500. Oh. It's almost gone up by 11-fold time.
Right.
So increasingly, more and more medical institutions are adopting yoga in curing several non-communicable diseases and chronic diseases and lifestyle-related diseases. And IDY has had a very strong impact in propagating the effects of yoga in all spheres of life, be it in education, be it in wellness sector, be it in the medical sector. And it's also been a very important tool in medical value tourism as well. And you can see a lot of yoga retreats across the country, like Rishikesh is a yoga city, Mysore is also a yoga city. And many of these kind of cities, they entice a lot of foreign tourists to come there to learn yoga from the yoga gurus and yoga ashrams. So like that, yoga has become very, very popular now because of the advent of IDY.
Right. And Dr. Rao, you keep meeting lots of patients, lots of people in almost daily. You are treating them. And now, what advice do you suggest to them? What are the points given to them while, performing yoga, these other medicines and all this regular treatment?
I'll give you an example of cancer patients.
Right.
So I have been working with cancer hospitals and cancer patients for the last 30 years.
Right.
And we have seen that when you start taking a cancer treatment, maybe surgery, radiation or chemotherapy, you have a lot of side effects. Mm-hmm. One important side effect I give you is the chemotherapy-induced nausea and vomiting. So when you take chemotherapy, patients develop a lot of nausea, vomiting sensation, or they have vomiting. And you give antiemetic medications to suppress vomiting, but nausea still remains. So what does yoga do here is, because of the antiemetic medicine, you have what is called gastroparesis, the intestinal movements come down, and that causes nausea. So by using simple yoga practices done on the bedside, like Pavana Muktasana Kriya, or it can be Bhujanga Asana, Shitali Shitakari Pranayama, which is to reduce the acidity and reflex symptoms, so nausea can be easily taken care of. So this is a problem area in case of oncology in cancer patients, which is not taken care of with medication. But we can easily take care of this with yoga intervention. Similarly, asthma attacks. So patients tend to have too much of asthma attacks because of stress and strain and anxiety as well. So yoga, by doing yoga, it can improve the lung capacity, can reduce the reactivity of the lungs to allergens and pollens. So yoga can be used very well there as well. Even in case of migraine attacks, yoga has been used. In case of musculoskeletal problems, back pain and all, yoga is to be useful. So along with medications, when you add yoga, it can really bring about a change. For example, back pain. Root medicine pain will go away sometime, but again the pain will come back because the root cause is where is your muscle strength is very, very poor. The supporting structures of the back are not able to take a load on the back, and these are causing problems. So once you strengthen the muscles, improve the strength of these muscles by using yoga interventions, yoga asanas and all, you'll be able to take care of the problem in the long run. So adding yoga along with medications is always helpful, and it is specific to each disease. Yoga as a therapy can be used in different settings. It can be used in heart disease, those with cardiac pacemakers. It can be used in migraine headaches. It can be used in depression, anxiety, in cancer, and various number of disorders. And the yoga therapy can be used along with adjunct with modern medicine.
And along with yoga becoming as a way of life, how do you see yoga also as an employment opportunities in the country?
Yeah, very simple thing. You see that very important research has been done by ICMR, which showed that in urban areas, about 65% of the people are physically inactive. They are having a sedentary lifestyle. In rural areas, about 50% of them are physically inactive. They also have a sedentary lifestyle. So this physical inactivity, diet, improper diet, and improper lifestyle, this is the main cause for most of the chronic diseases. So now we are going to be training people in yoga instructors in various courses. And these people can have a lot of employability because they can start opening a yoga wellness center, yoga studio. Just like going to a gym and trying to keep yourself physically fit. Yoga is one thing which can make you fit both physically as well as mentally. So this kind of wellness centers are the need of the hour in our urban areas as well as in rural communities. And with the fast-paced life going on, you also need to slow down. You also need to keep fit and healthy to achieve your goals in life. And by doing a lot of yoga courses, there is a lot of yoga courses, certificate courses in yoga, diploma courses in yoga, postgraduate diploma courses in yoga, just BSc, MSc yoga. There's also a clinical yoga course called Bachelor's Degree in Naturopathy Yogic Sciences. It's about 5.5 years. About 63 colleges are there across the country, including government colleges, once in South India. And this gives a lot of clinical training in how to use yoga as a therapy. And this needs to be propagated throughout the country. And there's a lot of employment opportunities are very good for these people because these people act as doctors and they see patients. They work with hospitals, they work with spas, they work with resorts, they work with the yoga research institutions, and they work in various places where they can really use yoga as a therapy and help in giving the better outcomes for the patients.
Right. And finally, what message do you like to convey to the listeners of yoga?
Yeah, like yoga is for the betterment of all the human beings, the humanity, the environment around us, the birds around us, the animals around us, the nature around us. And if you're able to take care of the community around us, that's what yoga is all about. And this line is said by none other than our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. And for the community on the radio also, I wish everybody to at least practice yoga for at least 10 minutes a day. It can be gentle stretches or loosening exercises or a breathing exercise or a pranayama, or with some relaxation technique just to calm down the mind. Self-introspection, calming down the mind is a very important aspect in your fast-paced life. So do take at least 10 minutes of time. Make yoga as a habit in your life. Just like you use a toothbrush in the morning to brush your teeth regularly without missing it, please also make yoga as a habit and use this 10 minutes of yoga. Use this 10 minutes of yoga every day so that this can be useful in keeping you in good health and good shape.
Right. And thank you, Dr. Rao, for your valuable inputs, your motivation, and your precious time. Thank you again, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all.